name is Jure Biechonski. I live in Estonia. In Estonia, I have a school for transpersonal psychology and hypnotherapy. I have 250 students in that school. I'm teaching my students to become transpersonal psychotherapists. Apart from that, my real passion in my work is what's called psychoneuroimmunology, which means how the mind is affecting the immune system and the neurological system. So as a psychologist, I don't only work with emotional problems, but I will also work with physiological problems. So we are working with people with cancer or any kind of diseases that are not, they are incurable, because we believe that the body is reacting to our emotions. Our emotions, our thoughts and feelings are affecting our physiological body. And if we're going to find that feeling that has triggered the physiological or emotional imbalance, then we can do something with it by doing emotional clearance. And with this work, apart from Estonia, I travel so far around more than 60 countries around the world. I'm lecturing in medical schools, in universities, in psychiatric schools, all the way from China to Mexico. And it's basically all very exciting. And the other thing we feel very passionate about is the subject of education, because we found that we psychologists waiting for a person to develop a problem, and then we coming and trying to fix that problem. But if we start to think about education, we start to think about transpersonal not only as a psychology, but as a philosophy and a way of living. Education starts at birth and ends in death. So in a way, if we can start from very early age, from kindergarten, teach children to meditate, to talk about their feelings, to get in touch with themselves, we can actually make a big difference in this world. So we are working very hard, spreading the message around, and always looking for new people that will just join us in our efforts. Thank you very much.
Professor Jure Biechonski, thank you for the chance to have you here. You're coming from Estonia, but I don't know if you are coming right now from Estonia or you are traveling all around the world with your system, your creative system is a very profound way of putting together all our, how can I say it, all our dimensions. Mm-hmm. And then you are an educator, you are trying to prevent us to arrive in difficult conditions. So we have in our hands and our responsibility the way in which our system, even the psyche or the psychosomatic system will develop. Professor, you are also trying to help people with cancer, people with who unfortunately arrive in those conditions. I think we may start from the beginning with something very important about what we have to do in the field of education. So the viewers, some of them are sick, some of them will be sick if they continue with this kind of busy life. So we have to meditate, you said in that short movie, we have to learn to be in touch with ourselves. Please, help us.
Okay. The whole idea is that the mind is affecting the physical body. All our thoughts and feelings are affecting our physical body. For instance, when we get goose pimples, certain feelings and thoughts can make us hot or cold. Mm-hmm. Certain feelings and thoughts can increase our blood pressure or lower it.
And directly, not after quite a time, so instantly.
Instantly, yeah.
Instantly. Okay.
So it's our perception of reality that is actually affecting our physical body. And by doing something with this perception, And this perception is what was programmed into our mind or into our computer, of course, by our parents and our social environment.
So we have to work hard, we have to be good, we have to do all the things that our parents wish for us to become a good citizen and so on, in imposed culture in a way.
It's not only it's not only be good. Okay, I'll give you a very simple example because I like to talk very simply so everybody can understand. A mother bought a bicycle to her son for Christmas.
Yes.
She gives him the bicycle and says to him, "Be careful. 5 children were killed last year riding a bicycle. Now take the bicycle and have fun."
Okay, this is a program already.
There's a program. Then the poor child goes to school and there is a teacher. And the teacher says, you have to work hard. A lot of pupils fail. If you don't work hard, you fail. So there is constantly some kind of fear and a huge expectation put on us to perform, to be good, to fit into society, and to sit in school and to study things that most of them, unfortunately, have no relevance whatsoever to real life out there.
Yes. And then when a person come to a doctor and said, okay, you have cancer. If you are not going to do surgery and so on, you will die within, I don't know, 1 year. And so, and of course, the poor person have to have a common sense and then to die within 1 year.
It is a program, because in the voodoo magic, when the voodoo magician says to somebody, you're going to die tomorrow, that person died tomorrow. Because everything comes from the mind.
So, but the belief.
It's the belief. You know, Jesus has not performed miracles in the Bible. The moment that people believed, they got healed. They got healed not by somebody. It was a self-healing through belief that, yes, they can get better.
Okay, so the problem is to help a ill person to have a good belief. But how? Because the ill person can say, okay, I'm very critical with myself. Bullshit, I don't believe in Jesus, in beliefs, nothing. So this is closed. What do you do then?
Okay. You see, the thing, it's not only belief, it's also about lifestyle.
Okay.
Okay? Okay. Because it's very simple. I like to speak in metaphor and in pictures. So the metaphor is, I'm walking in the field, there is a big lake, and suddenly I see a man drowning in the lake. I jump to the water, I pull the man out of the water, I lie him on the grass, I do mouth-of-mouth resuscitation, hard press-ups, and I bring him back to life. He stands up and says, thank you for saving my life. I'm taking him by the neck and throwing him back to the water. And this is actually what conventional psychology and medicine is doing. We are curing the symptoms, and then we sending the person back to the environment that has caused the symptom in the first place.
Not the causes, the causal
that has
dimension.
Triggered.
Yes.
That has triggered. Now, because there are two questions, very important questions that we need to ask about any symptom. How long ago did it start? Second question, what happened in your life around that time?
Yes. Okay.
So at that moment, we have the trigger. Because if trying to talk about scientifically, everything starts from something, nothing comes from nowhere.
From blue, yes.
So they spend billions to do cancer research and to find a cure for cancer. Did anybody ask ever a question, maybe we're going to research what is causing cancer in the first place? Well, but you see, the mind and the body are two separate entities.
Unfortunately.
I enter a hospital and there are signs. Cardiology to the right, neurology to the left, psychiatry second floor. The human body has been divided between different departments. In the head of each department, there is a professor with a big ego that does not talk to the professor of the other department.
Because it's his big ego.
So, you see, the mind and the body are two separate things. So, 20 or 30 years ago, somebody called Professor Adair suddenly made amazing discovery that the mind and the body are connected. What was known in the East for thousands of years, in the West, bravo, we found it suddenly.
Yeah.
So the second metaphor will be very, very simple. If you cut the weeds in the garden, they will grow back after the next rain. The more often you cut the weeds, the stronger they grow. It's like a lawn in the garden. The more often you cut it, the stronger it grows.
Yeah.
So all we do, and the weeds represent the symptoms, all we do, we are cutting symptoms.
Yes, not the roots.
Every gardener who does not have any academic degree, who doesn't have high education, knows a very simple fact, that to remove the weeds in the garden, you need to dig a hole and remove the roots. You don't need to be a scientist or an academic to understand this simple fact. And what some people do, they still cut symptoms. And then you had cancer, we cut it out, go back home, and come for checkup in few months' time to see if it did not spread anywhere else, because there is secondary cancer.
Yes.
So already the program is there, it might come back, and you have to be careful. Very careful.
We get sick, and the cause it's the entire way of living, the whole system. We cannot put apart, not even a glass of water from that system. This is, Professor, the paradigm.
Okay. We finished school, and by the age of 18, 19, because of social pressure and parental pressure, we have to decide what we're going to do for the rest of our life. We go to university, and I'm going to study computer sciences. Why? There is money in it. But if I had money, what shall I do? I should study art and drama. So I went to study computer sciences. Very quickly I discovered that it's not very interesting, but my parents told me, when you start something, you have to finish it.
Yeah.
And being happy is irrelevant. Then I'm getting married, and then I produce 2 children, and then I take a loan from the bank to buy an apartment, another loan from the bank to have a car, and then every morning I have to wake up in the morning and go to work, not because I want to, but because I have to. And this is my lifestyle.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't like my life. I hate myself, and I'm supposed to raise happy children in this system.
Of course.
How does it work?
Yes, yes. It's stupid. We are stupid, and we may see the faces of thousands of people going in the morning to their jobs. They are not living; they are surviving.
Okay. You said we are stupid. Let me say differently. We are born clever.
But
we are born very, very clever. We are all born princes, and life turns us into frogs.
Beautiful fairy tale.
It's the socialization and the education that makes us stupid, kills our creativity, and at that moment we forget that we have a body, and the only use that we use our body for is as a means of transport to the head. Apart from that, the body does not have any other meaning.
Transport to the head, yes, beautiful. And sitting on a chair for 10 hours a day, yes.
Yeah. And making money to pay the bills.
And then making money to pay the doctors.
Yeah. Of
beautiful,
course.
So beautiful frogs.
Yeah. And the doctors just give chemicals.
Yeah.
To suppress the symptoms.
Good industry.
Yeah. You see, we had once, there is some, for instance, winter comes, okay? I'm sneezing, I'm coughing, I have high temperature. I go to the doctor checks me up, and the doctor says, I know what you have. You have a virus.
Okay.
Okay, bravo. Each year, the virus has a different name. There's a Beijing virus, there is a Moscow virus,
okay.
Bird flu came from China, Ebola and AIDS came from Africa, pig's flu came from Mexico. Have we ever heard of New York virus or Paris virus or London virus? No, it's political. It's the primitives from the far countries who are affecting our pure life.
And evaluated life, yes.
But if there is a virus, why one person has it and the other person does not have it? It's all depends on the stress level at that moment. If I'm stressed, run down, my immune system will get low, and every single microbe or virus that will be in the air will affect me. So it's all about immunity. So once we had a disease called tuberculosis. We managed to cure it? No, we managed to repress it. When we repress something, this is the law of nature, what we are repressing is mutating. It's called mutation. So tuberculosis mutated into AIDS, into bird's flu, into pig's flu, because they are same system to Ebola, is the same system of the respiratory system. So every time we so-called cure something, what we are curing is evolving to something new. Where was cancer 100 or 200 years ago? There are hardly any archaeological findings of cancer in the old times. Animals in nature don't get cancer. Domestic animals get cancer. Yes. Why? Has anybody asked the question, why? We're looking for too many answers without knowing how to ask the right questions.
Okay, Professor, so we need hardly to improve our way of living in order not to be so stressed, and so our immune system and the natural ways of healing to work. So what can we do? What do you think? You have experience in this, about the shifting in life, changing. So I'm working in a very big city, so okay, please, what to do?
First of all, we have to find who we are. The question, who am I? It's a very important question. Who am I? What am I doing in this life? And what is my passion and mission in this life?
Passion and mission.
Passion and mission. And the next question is, what kind of world I want to leave behind me for the next generations? How do you sleep at night?
Okay.
Calmly, when you raise two children and you're going to release them to this world out there as it is. How can you sleep at night? So the question is to go back to the roots. The roots is childhood. And it goes back to the inner child.
Inner child.
Inner child.
Yes.
And the inner child works very simply. And I want you to imagine that in front of you stands a little child. And this little child is the little you. And you look at the eyes and the face of this little child.
Yes.
And when you look at the eyes of this child, what do you see in these eyes of the little child? And because you are the only person in the whole world, you are the only person in the world. No doctor, no psychiatrist, no psychologist knows better than you how this child is feeling and why he's feeling like that. You are the only person in the world that knows what this child needs to hear right now. And maybe you like also to give this child a hug, because the child you once were is still alive in your adult shell. You see, our age, our number represents our age, is called the biological age. It's just a time measurement from the moment we are born till today. This is the only meaning it has. Emotionally, we are much, much younger. So whenever we have feelings or thoughts that logically we know we're not supposed to have, it's not us, age 40, 50 or 60 who have this feeling, but a little child inside us. And what we do to this little child? Exactly what our parents did to us.
Repressing.
Don't feel.
Yes.
And stop crying, because you're not going to stop crying. I'm going to give you something to cry about. And smile. It's not the end of the world. Don't be so sad. Smile. Positive psychology. Come on.
Yes, yes. Repression.
Yeah. Repression of all feelings that are so-called negatives. So every time that I feel a little bit less than happy,
it's not okay.
I have depression. Lack of expression equals depression. This is where depression comes from.
Lack of expression.
Equals depression.
Yeah.
And from my clinical experience, when we talk about panic attacks, now, in my opinion, and I might be wrong, I love to say this sentence because, to be clear, I know nothing.
Yes.
Psychology is supposed to be the science of the mind, but where is the mind and what is the mind? So we psychologists practice the science of something. We don't know where it is and what it is. What a waste of time. So in my opinion, I might be wrong, panic attacks are caused by unfulfilled potential. When I'm actually find myself stuck in some kind of a job or a lifestyle, and there is no joy and no satisfaction of it, and I'm there because I have to, not because I want to, of course I get panic attack. Because I've got two assumptions, as I don't know what I'm talking about, and the word theory, in my dictionary, theory means everything that is opposite of the truth.
Perfect.
If you want to know the truth, go to church or to university. If you come to me, I know nothing. So, in my opinion, all our so-called problems, physical and emotional, are only a normal reaction to an abnormal situation.
Not the other way around.
What conventional psychology and medicine do, they fix the abnormal, the normal reaction, but they don't touch the abnormal situation.
Yes.
My next assumption is that all our so-called problems, physical and emotional, are illogical and irrational. We have an immune system. We're not supposed to be sick. We're supposed to be happy. We all read the American positive psychology books. Don't worry, be happy and smile. So, all our problems are illogical and irrational. Any attempt to analyze logically and rationally the illogical and the irrational, it's a total waste of time. And this is how we're causing ourselves problems. We experience something, we have an experience, emotional experience, we're trying to logically to look at it and understand it. And when you don't understand it, we go to some specialist that will explain it to us. So then I go back after my therapy and I'm happy because now I have a label and I know what I'm suffering from. And my suffering is a chemical imbalance in my brain that should be corrected chemically, and it's not my fault and it's nothing to do with me.
Yes.
If all our problems are logical and irrational, they are created by our imagination. In order for me to help a person, I will need to use their imagination. This is why part of my practice is hypnosis.
You are the author of the transpersonal hypnoanalysis.
Yeah. So when I say to you, imagine a little boy standing in front of you, without closing your eyes, you're already in a trance state. But also I can say to you, I want you to imagine yourself 10 years from now, the future you. And you from the future comes here, and now you have become the you of the future. And you know exactly what your present self needs to do to make themselves better. What would you like to say to the present self? You see, this is also the pure humanistic psychology.
Yes, pure
because
humanistic.
all the answers are within us. And I believe when a client comes to therapy, they don't come to hear answers to the questions. They come to receive confirmation to what they already know that it's right, and then come to receive permission to do something about the choices they already made. I cannot teach anybody anything new.
You are just the proper mirror environment in order that that little child can be understood and can be reflected.
Yeah, as you mentioned the word mirror, this is actually in a way what I do. I take a mirror, symbolic mirror, put it in front of a person, and I see this is how it looks like. Because I'm not here to make you feel happy and to tell you lies
Yes.
and to tell you, you know, that now you're going to close your eyes and feel this euphoria of white light coming from the sky and all this esoteric stuff. I'm putting him in front of you and say, this is how it looks like. Do you like it? No. What would you like to do about it? I don't know. You don't know? Okay, let's invite you from the future that knows. What you from the future will say to the present you about doing something about it.
This little child is scared. This little child wish to have his own way, to be free,
Yeah.
not to do the same things, to travel, not to remain in the same
Yeah.
city, to have lots of life experiences. So the result of what the child need and wish is to quit.
Yeah.
So to quit from many of our duties. And then, oh, I'm afraid. I have to be brave to do this.
Yeah.
Because the things will start to not to be controlled. I have to pay the bills from what and so on. You already encountered all this rational or irrational thoughts, I don't know.
Even Erik Erikson said that a young person, when they finish school, they need to take what he calls a moratorium. Put a rucksack on your back and travel the world, find who you are, have experiences, then you know who you are and what you want from life. How can we demand from a young person that don't know who they are and what they want from life to make a decision which is going to affect the next 45 years of their working life? It's not fair.
Not fair, yes, yes, yeah. You have a remarkable way of putting the things from viewing from another perspective.
Yeah.
So you are giving hope to a person that he's very okay, but he's only responding to a bad environment. So this means that we are functioning perfect. We are adapting. But we are adapting to very wrong conditions.
We're not adapting. The body never lies.
Okay.
Our mind can escape to the past or to the future. The only thing that exists in the here and now is our body.
Okay.
The body never lies. In our mind, we are adapting. I'm happy. I'm okay. I had a happy childhood. I've got panic attacks and depression. I've got cancer. But apart from that, I'm happy. I had a happy childhood. I have the perfect marriage. I love my job. And I have wonderful children. So where those symptoms are coming from?
So the body cannot lie. The
body never lies.
Okay. So in fact, we cannot repress the energy in the body. The body will express it. Anyway.
Yeah, when we repress it, it comes out in different ways.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. So our quest may start from the body.
Yeah.
So, for example, if we have, I don't know, arrhythmia or something, functional heart conditions, let's suppose it.
Okay.
Okay. So, starting from here, what you do what?
Okay. First, the two classical questions. How long ago did it start? What happened in your life around the time? Then I'm asking general question to know the person in front of me. Okay. And one of the questions I ask is, what do you do for fun? And you have to see some of the actions. People go suddenly silent. They look at me like I asked the most strange question. What do you mean? When was the last time you went on holiday? 5, 6 years ago? You are a criminal, you know.
With yourself.
I say it. I say it. And you see, so those two questions, and for instance, I had this woman, okay? She had cancer, started in the breast, went to the liver. They told her there's not a lot we can do. I ask you a simple question. I want you to imagine that the cancer has gone, just disappeared. What would you do with your life? She said, I want my life back. I said, no. No way you get your life back. You want to go back where it started? No.
Yes.
What would you do differently? Because now you are free from cancer. She said, I will start playing the piano and I'll go to art classes. So I said to her, do you want to recover from cancer? Start now. Don't wait.
Yes, yes.
You see, what we do is, first I will have the courage to do something, then I do it. It doesn't work like that. First, I do it, and by doing it, I'm getting the courage.
Yes.
Because the behavior is creating the feeling. Change the behavior, change the feeling. But the way we are programmed is, as long as I feel like that, there's nothing I can do.
It's very concrete. From today, within 1 hour,
Yeah.
I have to start playing the piano. My piano.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes, directly and very simple. And then it's not about quitting the job from this moment, but doing the thing that you love. Yeah, very difficult.
You see, I said before that psychology is the science of the unknown mind. Psychology was a so-called science that was supposed to explain to us our human behavior so we can live an easier and less stressful life. Psychology has failed. Because psychology is a science. Psychology is something we all do, put in a language that nobody understands. For me, the word psychology is something I want to simplify human behavior and not to complicate it. I talk in pictures, I talk in metaphor, and I talk so everybody can understand me. Albert Einstein said, if you cannot explain your theory to the barmaid, your theory sucks. Simple as that. And sometimes I'm listening to those big names who written 20, 30 books, I'm sitting in lectures, and I feel sometimes so stupid. Those long academic words that mean nothing. You're not talking to the people anymore. Psychology is there, humanity is there, and they have not created the contact.
Yes, this is a humanistic perspective indeed.
Because when you have a car, you take your car so many kilometers to the garage for a service. Not because there's something wrong with the car, but because you don't want the car to fail you. From time to time, if you're a responsible person, you go to the dentist to have your teeth checked, eyesight checked, blood pressure checked, because you're a responsible person. How many times you go to somebody to check your soul, your emotional state? No. We're waiting for a major disaster, some time of total nervous breakdown, depression, panic attack, or God knows what, and then we cry for help.
Yeah, yeah. So this is education, start education.
This is
now.
education.
Yes.
So I also like to say I'm not a therapist, I'm an educator. I teach people to look at things differently. I teach people to ask questions instead of looking for answers.
Professor Jure, as I see it, in fact, you are what a psychologist is supposed to be.
Supposed to be, yeah.
Supposed to be.
Supposed to be.
Yes, so a person who is trying to connect to the truth, not through the concepts, but through the feelings, through the emotions, through the field of experience, trying to be simple and aligned with the way of the nature, which are very simple.
To the personal truth, because there's no universal truth.
Okay, so it's a relative truth and personal truth.
Yes.
Okay.
You see, on a spiritual level, we are all in this world for a purpose.
Okay.
We are here for a reason.
Is there a reason?
I choose to believe that there is a reason.
This is also Einstein's words.
I don't know. I choose to believe. Okay. You see, why my dispassionate interest in this subject? 44 years ago, I was in an explosion. I got injured.
Explosion?
Yeah. And I was in hospital for 1 year. I had 26 operations.
26 operations?
Yeah, in 1 year. And 3 months I was clinically dead.
3 months?
Yeah. I had near-death experience. I went to the other side and I was sent back.
Okay.
So, my life was given to me as a gift.
So you experience all the tunnel things and so
Yes,
on?
yes. So my life was given to me as a gift.
Okay.
I spent another 10 years not talking about it because I thought I have some kind of schizophrenic episode until I read some book and heard other people that had the same experience. Then I realized that my life was given to me as a gift. Okay. I'm not the owner of my life, I'm the keeper of it. And my mission in life is to give that life force to others, just to pass it on.
Professor, please, it's the first time that I meet a third-degree encounter, a person with the real experience of near death. Please, just a few okay. Pictures from it, because it's the key point. I understand now why you are transpersonal psychologist
okay.
and why you are what you are.
Okay. So there is the tunnel of light. I was walking this tunnel of light, and in the end of the tunnel there was a figure with no face, and the figure said, "Stop, go back, you have not finished what you have to do."
And the you that you are traveling with the feeling of identity still? Kind of.
Kind of. I left my body. There's this thing of getting out of the body and going as some kind of entity in this tunnel. So I went back.
Okay.
And I spent 10 years thinking, what does it mean you have not finished to do what you have to do? What do I have to do? It's a question that we don't ask ourselves.
Okay.
We live like robots that are programmed by some kind of social rules, how we have to do it.
And this tunnel traveling in I know body time period were 3 months or 3 months?
For me, it seems like 5 minutes.
5 minutes, but
it was 3 months when I woke up.
So you was connected to all that stuff in order to survive?
Yeah.
3 months?
Yeah.
And then the recovery, it was, I think, very long. After 3 months, all the muscles are already in...
The recovery was very long and not easy.
Yeah, lots of pain and stuff.
But I'm a very active person. I traveled the world, 65 countries so far, and I'll be 65 in April.
65?
Which means normal people should retire by now.
But you are just beginning.
Not me, I'm only beginning.
Yes.
I'm only starting.
Yes. Wow. Remarkable. And so I can believe you, because you have experience on your own.
Yeah.
So the only way in which we can know the truth is by living it. So otherwise there are speculation concepts and nothing.
As Fritz Perls said once, the founder of Gestalt, you can say 1,000 times to a child, this stove is hot, don't touch it. Until they don't touch it and experience it, nothing is going to change.
Yes.
We have to experience life.
Yes. Gaston Bachelard, the psychoanalysis of the fire. So the fire is forbidden now, but we have to burn and to feel the passion of the fire in order to
Or you can say to your child, don't play with the matches, because you set the house on fire. The moment you turn your back, the curtains are on fire.
Yes.
We have so many rules in society, don't do this and don't do that, okay? So in schools we have sex education. Don't have sex because you get pregnant. Thank you very much. First thing I'm going to do out is have sex. Don't drink alcohol because it's not good for you. And don't take drugs. And the more we talk about it, the more it happens.
Yes.
Because it's all about negativity and about prohibition, about dangers.
Yeah. So you have a purpose in life.
Yeah.
I think this is your purpose, this is your life.
Yeah.
Even to be here and tell us this.
I'm passing the message through.
Yeah. The people are hearing this kind of message. Do you think that they can really hear? Tell me, you are optimistic or? Okay.
I would like to say I'm optimistic, but I'm going to tell the truth. I'm not optimistic. I'm actually quite pessimistic.
Okay.
Because I practice hypnosis, okay? So a person comes and say, I'm suffering from clinical depression, hypnotize me out of my depression. But don't ask me about my childhood.
Nothing, yes.
Don't ask me about my relationship and my job. I don't want to change anything. I just want you to hypnotize me out of my depression. And I'm trying to explain it does not work that way. But some people want just on a symptomatic level, looking inside. I'll give you another example. Some people are trying to send their children to me.
Yes.
Children
Yes.
have problem.
Not them.
Yeah,
themselves.
hypnotize my child to do his homework, not to lie, and my child has different physical or emotional symptoms, and I try to explain the child is a symptom, the child is a reaction. Leave the child at home.
Yes.
Parents, come yourself, and let's see, because it's not about where is the parent's fault, but where is the parent's responsibility. So the science of psychology, it is brilliant science, from time to time is inventing new disorders. We've got something called attention deficit disorder. Where was it 20 or 30 years ago? They say it was always there, but we could not diagnose it. So if a child has the attention deficit disorder, because according to the conventional psychology, we're not allowed to make the parents feel guilty, we say to the parents, it's not your fault. Your child has a chemical imbalance in the brain. Where it's coming from, we don't know. But we're going to give some chemicals to the child and everything will be okay.
Yeah. Yes.
You see, so let's think for a moment realistically. If I'm a parent to a child that has a problem, okay? One message is, it's not my fault, the child has some imbalance. The other message is, it's my responsibility, I have to change something in myself. Which message would I prefer? But then, when I prefer the message that my child has an imbalance, it's nothing to do with me, then as a human being, I become very angry.
Yes.
Because you're sacrificing your child.
Yeah. Yeah.
This makes me angry.
We are using our child.
Yeah, and you see, I'm a human being first, therapist, psychologist, or whatever second. I've got feelings too. Things do make me angry. Things do make me feel passionate. I'm looking at the world out there,
Yes.
and I'm scared, and it hurts to see how people are destroying themselves in their own hands.
Yes. Yes.
It is painful.
Very
And in the same time, they're raising children
in the same way.
in the same way,
Yes.
without even stepping back.
Yeah. So those are the dark forces in the world, and maybe this is your goal.
Okay, dark forces. Wait a moment.
But we have only 2 minutes. So
Okay,
quick.
dark forces.
Okay.
Mahatma Gandhi said that the only evil that exists in this world is the evil inside us, and this is where the battle should be fought.
Yes.
Dark forces, people will think about the outside
Here,
dark forces,
here.
so I'm not responsible.
Okay.
The only dark forces exist inside us.
Yes.
This is where it starts, and this is where we should fight it.
Beautiful. Professor Jure Biechonski, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes, I'm sure that all that we may hear you, we may responsibilize ourselves. So
Yeah.
everything it's within ourselves and our mind. No dark forces there. Here
Yeah.
the light, and here is all the possibilities. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you.